What's going on, guys? I'm back. First time in a few years now. Um, I don't know if this channel will receive any sort of consistent uploads or not, but I'm just gonna, stream a draft or I guess record a draft here, and I might stream a draft maybe once a week or so, just to see what happens. Try to get my thoughts out in the air, maybe watch it back myself and see what goes on. This is my first draft. Um, since the actual NFL draft, anyway. I did a couple before draft teams, but not too many. I'm still trying to get familiar with the ADPs. Right now, I just have the default rankings in there. But yeah, I'm just gonna play it by ear and sort of give my player takes as we go through, as well as like I guess my typical strategies, although obviously they change. But yeah, I'm just gonna try to speak out loud. This video is going to be unedited, so sort of treat it like a stream, I guess. So yeah, let's get into it. We're sitting at the 6 here. I'm hoping I get one of these receivers, to be honest. But I mean, Bijan obviously on the upgraded offense. Harder to stack up Atlanta a little bit, just because. Well, where's London going now? Well, there's a chance you could get London then. Obviously, I don't think you really have to stack up your first round pick very much. I tend to go with the strategy of stacking up later guys, just because I think like a dog can be a dog without anybody coming along with them. But like a secondary or third receiver probably needs the quarterback to go off too. So, but we'll see what happens here. Obviously, Amon-Ra is in the mix here. I love Breece Hall. Honestly, I might end up picking Breece Hall. I don't know. We'll see. I try to stick to ADP, but honestly, I'm more of a player takes person anyway, just because I'm probably not going to max. I mean, this is a puppy, in case I didn't say that, but I'm definitely not going to max this, so I'm probably going to be a little more player takey. Thing is, I would take Breece Hall over Bijan. Yeah, you know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. Why not? Gotta live a little sometimes, I also don't really love starting running back, but to be honest, I mean, just looking at the second round, all these second rounders are kind of dog shit. Like, none of these guys are really like separating for me in the second round, but obviously we're gonna have to pick somebody. So I don't really want to go two running backs, but we'll see who's there. I mean, I think JT's gonna have a monster year. I know some people are down on them. I mean, at ADP at 15, how down on them are they really? But everybody saw Zach Moss go off. But the thing is, like, Zach Moss really only went off when Big Tony, Anthony Richardson, was in there. And then he kind of cooled off when Gardner played most of the year. But obviously, I think JT is a way better running back than Zach Moss. And hopefully Big Tony's healthy this year. And the Colts have a huge upgrade this year. So I don't mind that. I just bet Drake London at I think it was plus 7,000. I think it was 70 to 1 to win OPOY. So, I might go ahead and start him up just for that reason. Which, you could go back to, you should have stacked with Bijan, but, it is what it is. I'm not really too sure. It does make me nervous with Kirk a little bit now with them picking Penix, because obviously Kirk's going to be the starter, but like, what is there, like maybe a 5% chance, 10% chance Penix plays at the end of the year? Like, that wasn't there before. Now, obviously, that definitely hurts your upside, because like, all the money's in week 17. So, it's just something to think about. Ayuk is good. I think Ayuk's just a great player, but I don't even know. Is he going to play for San Francisco? I guess so. They didn't trade him, huh? Olave, obviously. Kyron's slipping a little bit. I get it. They drafted Corum in the third round. That's a little scary because Kyron's a big volume guy, but I mean, the Rams didn't have a running back too last year. I mean, I know Ronnie Rivers got hurt, but they brought up old Big Daryl Double Barrel Henderson and then immediately cut his ass after he started a couple games. So they obviously needed a running back too. So that doesn't really, I don't know. I feel like it's a good pick too, but I'm definitely going receiver here. Well, maybe I'm not definitely going receiver now. Let's see. If JT follows me, I'll just double barrel 2 running backs, even though it's disgusting. Okay, here we go. So we're getting London or Olave. Did this guy double barrel? He did double barrel. That's crazy. Okay, well. Okay, I'll take Olave, you know, if I have to. You know, it kind of stinks about this draft class with the Olave, Wilson, and London. How none of them had great quarterback play the last few years. I mean, I think they're all extremely talented, and obviously 2 of them, well, hopefully got a quarterback upgrade. Aaron Rodgers and Kirk Cousins, obviously both coming back from an Achilles tear, but hopefully they have a big upgrade. And then Chris Olave, you know, obviously in the dome with Derek Carr. I think Olave is really good. I think Carr is, you know, he's just Derek Carr. Could be worse, I guess. Could be better, but in a dome, not too bad. Aging running backs. I guess just aging Kamara, but we'll see. Definitely gonna double pump receiver here. I like Laporta. I don't think I like 3rd round Laporta as much. I'd much prefer 4th round Kelsey. I mean, look at this right here. Mark Andrews 53, George Kittle 67. Like, yeah, that's where I'm. I love elite tight ends. I love getting a solid tight end, you know, but I just don't see this right here to 40. In this kind of playoff contest, I get it. If it was full point PPR, season long league, I kind of get it. You know, get the Laporta in there because George Kittle is really up and down. But if George Kittle delivers those George Kittle weeks when you need him to, I mean, he's crushing at 67. I think he's crushing at 67 regardless, but he's definitely crushing. And then Kyle Pitts, you know, maybe we stack him up, get Kirk Cousins. A little fragile, I think, with London. I think London's really good. I think Pitt's a little fragile. And then obviously Kirk Cousins is a little fragile. But, you know, we're playing to win, so fuck it. Is that 10 minutes? Am I allowed to swear yet? Anyway. I feel like I've been talking a lot, not really saying much. But I guess I can talk about structure a little bit next. Obviously, it changes each draft. I prefer to have a strong quarterback, 1 strong running back, and a strong tight end. Now, I know that leaves you more fragile at wide receiver, and I know that makes people really uncomfortable, including myself. But I really just like having like a Josh Allen as a quarterback or something like that. Now, we're definitely going to take a receiver here and not Josh Allen, but maybe we backdoor Lamar and then Andrews later. Well, that's lining up pretty nice actually, but we'll see. I love Big Tony too. We get Pittman here. Now obviously, if you're kind of new to this, you want to stack up your quarterbacks and receivers. Ooh. You want to stack up your quarterbacks and receivers, just because all the money is in week 16 and week 17, specifically week 17. And unfortunately, the actual NFL schedule is not out yet, so we can't do a full game stack. Well, we can try. Like, we can guess, like, maybe there's a divisional opponent, maybe AFC versus AFC, etc. But we don't really know the opponents in week 17, but we can still team stack, which I think is definitely an edge. Obviously, I think it's a diminishing edge. I think people are much more in tune with that strategy now. But obviously some people aren't. And to be fair, they're pretty much drawing dead, I think, in week 17. I mean, unless you really think you can hit like the 9-leg parlay. And you know what? If you can do that, just make a 9-leg parlay and bet it, because that shit is not happening. So let's see. Like I said, this is one of my only drafts I've done. I'm trying to see Achane slide into 3rd round. I remember he was going in the 2nd round. I did a draft like a month and a half ago. Mahomes. Quarterbacks are flying off the board early. So he picks Mahomes. Saquon. Interesting. Everybody picking him over Josh Allen. It's kind of interesting. I guess Josh Allen lost a lot of his supporting cast, but I mean, I think he's a dog. So I'm gonna go ahead and queue up Lamar here, and then get ready to pick Mark Andrews on. If we don't get Mark Andrews and we have Lamar, we'll just pick. I don't even know. We'll make it happen. We'll backdoor him some shit. Or pick a late quarterback to stack up. Um, I got a cough, but I don't know how to mute this mic. Let me figure that out. We'll just cough away from it. Obviously, Zay going. I think a good strategy too is 3 wide receivers and snapping like James Cook or Pacheco here. These aren't like your prototypical dead zone guys. And okay, so we go Lamar here. Or we can go Trey McBride and get Kyler later. No, I'm gonna take Lamar here. I'm gonna stack up the Ravens a little bit. Obviously, we saw Zay go. We saw Derrick Henry go. But we still have Likely, and they re-signed Bateman, and then Keaton Mitchell off the ACL. That's a little scary, but I mean, they pick 190. You know, whatever. Obviously, Aguilar is capable of being competent occasionally. Pick 216. And this build is looking like a 258 build, 2583, maybe 2582 or 2682. Sorry, depending on if we get Mark Andrews. In terms of other players I'm looking at, we still have the Kirk Cousins. If we miss on Mark Andrews here, I'm probably going to pick Pitts and go for the Kirk Cousins later and just have Lamar skinny or Lamar double with 2 shitters or something. And then Likely as well, I guess, in that situation. But we'll see. We will see here shortly. Where's the Josh Allen guy at? He's not up. Tricky Trey going. Cooper going. I like what's going on here. Actually, not that much. I thought it was. I forgot Diggs was not on Buffalo there for a second. This picture got me for a second. There's nothing going on here. What about this guy? Got the Nico stack. Devon Achane. Devon Achane is going to be a polarizing player because obviously they just drafted another running back. But he displays, how do you project somebody to run for 8.5 yards? A carry. Well, he just did it, so we'll see if he can do it again. Obviously an extremely explosive player in Achane, but he was definitely higher on my board when his name was Achane. Achane, definitely not as cool, but I guess it is what it is. I'll just have to get over it. This guy, going with the 4. If he gets Pacheco here, it's a solid start. See what he decides to stack up later. A lot of options there, obviously. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what the hell is happening with some of these teams. Obviously, we get the Andrew stack. Big relief there. Let me go ahead and unqueue. I guess I could stack Likely and Mark Andrews. That'd be kind of funny, but I don't think I'm gonna do that. I like this. Big Tony, Michael Pittman. This is a good team. I like this team. Badge boy coming in. Man. But we'll see who we want to target. I need another receiver here. So this is actually a build I really like right here. And now, I know a lot of people, if you watch other streamers or videos, they'd be very uncomfortable right now. And obviously, it's not the most exciting thing, only having 2 receivers here. But we can just start really attacking that right now. And Lamar's not my favorite quarterback to do this sort of build with. Just because, I think people associate with Lamar with like a high floor, but he really isn't. Like, he's more than capable of just handing the ball off to like Gus Edwards like 3 times a game in the red zone. So that's a little scary. It's not like you have the Josh Allen or Jalen Hurts like actual floor, but I think we got a very talented running back who I was really high on. Um, Obviously, looking at it now, I wish this was Bijan just from a stacking standpoint, but it's fine. I mean, you don't really know that Lion's going to slip a few picks there. Malik Neighbors is just he's probably one of my favorite players. Obviously in New York, wish he would have went somewhere else, but he actually fits Daniel Jones's limited skill set well. He's really good at slants and short crossing routes and stuff like that, so he'll fit in nicely. I'm gonna pick Rice here just because I'm not afraid. And did Worthy go before him now? He does. That makes sense. Rice is obviously in trouble again now, but I think this team needs some juice. So even if Rice is suspended, I can't see him getting suspended more than 6 games. I don't even think it'll be that much. This team needs some juice at receiver, definitely, especially at the end of the year. So definitely gonna queue up Rice. If Rice goes, I'm picking Lat McConkey. Okay, let me just make sure. I like these two. Yeah, I mean, look at the different. I mean, George Kittle, obviously, the dog, but not picking him. Could go bully tight end, I guess. That's not really my favorite strategy, though. I think I've seen a lot of sharp people like to grab 2 elite tight ends now, just because the fall off this year. There's literally like maybe 8 to 10 teams that don't really have an actual tight end. But to me, spending that much draft capital on the lowest scoring position just doesn't really sit right with me. So that's definitely where I'm going to get different from more of the sharper players. Now, obviously they win the tournament, we got to beat them, but we're also trying to beat, the non-sharp players too. So we'll see. Team's coming along. We can look up the stack. New York, we could get Malachi and maybe Aaron Rodgers. We could just get Kirk Cousins. Not really trying to spend draft capital on quarterback here. Could stack New England, Baltimore. Obviously, maybe Daniel Jones. I'd rather not do that though. We'll play by ear. I'm not gonna prioritize this. I'm just gonna pick the best players from now on. We'll backstack at the end. I think that is the target. I'm gonna try to pick running back in round maybe 8, 9. Target Warren, maybe Trey Benson. Not really. This is tough. I mean, obviously Nick Chubb has been such a good running back the last few years, but multi-ligament tear as an aging running back is not a bet I want to make, especially at pick 100. Yeah, I'm gonna stay away from that one. I think that's gonna be, and like I said, so a lot of people love building portfolios and diversifying, and that's very smart to do. Don't get me wrong, extremely smart to do. However, I'm not maxing any of this stuff. I'm not. I have to take my stance. I have to get my 30-40% on a player or two. And obviously that leads to having less on other people. So I might just full fade. It's too early to know. I don't know. What do I know? I don't know if I'm gonna do that. But or full fade Nick Chubb. I guess I didn't finish my sentence. But we'll see. I'm gonna do a quick little Buffalo stack without the quarterback. That'll be fun. Look at this wave of running backs coming. Did I grab one of those? Probably. Yeah, probably actually. We'll see. All right, team through 7 rounds is Lamar, Breece Hall, Drake London, Malik Neighbors, Rashi Rice, Keon Coleman, and Mark Andrews. So we get the little Lamar stack, a lot of AFC teams, and then Drake London, Malik Neighbors are just 2 wide receivers I think are extremely talented that just haven't, at least Drake London hasn't been in a favorable situation, and then Malik Neighbors didn't get drafted into the greatest situation. Um, but we'll see. I mean, I love New York's coach. I think he's really creative. Obviously, he's very limited by Daniel Jones, but year over year, that could improve. The copamine. Pollard going at the 7-11 to the black badge. See what this guy's got going on. Little Philly stack. Yeah. Seems reasonable. Caleb pick 95. I mean, talk about a quarterback set up for success. I mean, how many number 1 overall picks are in this kind of position, right? 3 talented wide receivers, a good defense, an improving offensive line. It's hard to know how good that offensive line is just because Justin Fields held the ball for so long and took so many sacks. So definitely could be better than what some of those metrics would say. So I'm thinking probably like a mediocre, like maybe average. An average offensive line would be fantastic with those weapons, and a good defense, obviously. And more of like a presidential tier prospect, once every few years, once every 4 years or so. I think I saw something. He needs to pass for like 130 yards a game to beat the Bears' rookie quarterback passing record, which is just like that is absurd. I think he'll probably do that, if he stays healthy. And I hope he does. I mean, I know he got some like quirkiness or whatever that people were a little put off by, but I mean, I like when my quarterbacks are a little weird. You know what I mean? Like I like that Mahomes like drinks ketchup and stuff like that. Like that, I don't know. I feel like that like works out for them. Just having a weird quirk. Like they're just grinding film and he's just drinking ketchup. Like I kind of like that. Doesn't get distracted. All right, I'm gonna reach on Mr. Samuel here a little bit. Curtis, I mean, he just earns targets. Like, funnily enough, he just earns targets. Definitely could have made an argument for Zach Moss. I just think he's ass. If I'm betting on a Bengals running back, it's not fucking Zach Moss. Let me see where Chase Brown goes. Yeah, I'd much rather have Chase Brown 30 picks later. That's easy. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like Zach Moss is all of a sudden good. Like that just doesn't happen. You're not ass for a few years and then you're good for like 3 games and then you're just a good player. No, I'm good. I'm good off that. Trey Benson might get boxed out, but James Conner is old. Javonte, I'm not really a fan of. Nick Chubb, already explained, I'm probably not drafting at all. Maybe I should have picked a running back there. I'm kind of getting locked out now. But we do have the anchor RB, Hero, RB, Jerome Ford. I'm going to queue up. Definitely want some Jerome. Oh, jeez. Smack the shit out of my headset. Sorry for that. Get some of the doll queued up. Maybe do a little Vidal, Josh Palmer here. Just trying to do like mini stacks on these AFC teams because you never know. You just never know. Obviously, Baltimore won the division last year and the Bills won their division last year, so they're gonna play. Yeah, you just don't know. Just taking shots on these little game stacks. Even if it isn't week 17, which would be ideal, like if it's week 15 or 16, that's fine, kind of guessing. And obviously, just because I am guessing, I'm not making it a priority. I'm just queuing up players I like, and that can stack. So definitely think that's the way to attack this. Got Keon Coleman and Curtis Samuel, who obviously get a lot of vacated targets from Diggs. Although I think the Bills are probably changing their scheme a little bit, but I think that fits into what Curtis Samuel and Coleman do. They get open and they have shorter A-dots. So we're definitely going to see a different Buffalo team probably this year. But we'll see. It's hard to really know, and I know people are really down on the Chargers. I'm not as down on them. I think they're being projected as a bottom 5 passing offense, which I think like Justin Herbert 120, which is ridiculous, right? I think that's a little too much. I'm really tempted to pick Brock Bowers here. But I think I'm just going to reach on my boy here, Mr. Singletary. Now, the reason is whenever Singletary goes somewhere, he just kind of gets some work, you know? It's definitely easy to say that after last year. But more importantly, he does, in terms of breaking these ties with Trey Benson, you know, young running back, probably come on second half of the year. That would have been a good pick. But I get Devin Singletary with Malik Neighbors, so a little substack there. And I just need a guy that can get some early season production. And then I think later in the draft, I'm going to pick more of my like breakout potential, maybe. Like maybe I go with like a Jalen Wright or Ray Davis. Ooh, Ray Davis for the Bills. Okay. So just stuff like that, you know. Keaton Mitchell, you know, obviously coming off the ACL, a little slow to ramp up. Just guys like that. We'll take some shots later, and we'll hope that one of them hits later. So that's kind of where we're going. This is looking more and more like a 2-6-8-2 build, but we shall see. Brock Bowers continues to slide. I am definitely going to pick him if he makes it all the way around to me. Probably. Dude, do you really want Gus Edwards, though, on the Chargers? I mean, we could. I think I'd rather have Chase Brown, though. Oops. I mean, look at the Chargers backfield right now. Gus Edwards, J.K. Dobbins, who might as well have an amputated leg, and Vidal. I don't know how you just don't slam Vidal, right? You have two old guys. I mean, I guess J.K. isn't that old, but like his knee might as well be 100 years old. And Vidal. I mean, I'll pick Vidal there, but And there goes Bowers at 109. What a fall. Obviously, probably like one of the worst landing spots imaginable for him, unfortunately. I'm in a couple dynasties leagues right now, and I think Brock Bowers went from like the locked in 106 to more of like a 108, which is actually a pretty big difference in dynasty. Obviously, Odunze is going in front of him, and then McCarthy as well now for the most part, which is fair, I guess. Obviously, Superflex, tight end premium leagues, but man, he was really locked into that 106 and like probably a great addition. Probably like arguably tight end 1 in dynasty. People were making the case for, and now not so much. I mean, still probably tight end top 5, I think, but maybe 3rd. I'd take Laporta over him, even though Laporta is obviously blocked. And same with Trey McBride. You know, like he's kind of blocked to be like the actual number 1 on the team. And then I guess you could make the same thing for Brock Bowers, but you'd expect Devonta Adams to be gone after next year. Meanwhile, Trigger Trey's gonna be blocked by Big Marv for, you know, forever. And same with Laporta and Amon-Ra. So I get the upside there. Obviously, we know that. Sorry, I'm just thinking. I'm taking Chase Brown here for sure. Obviously, we know that Sam Laporta is really good, and we know that Brock Bowers is not Brock Bowers, and we know that Trey McBride is pretty good, and we don't know. Obviously, we think Brock Bowers is really good. He is an absolute animal at Georgia, but we'll see. I mean, he definitely has an extremely high ceiling, especially if Devonta Adams is traded next year or cut. But not really the best situation in terms of quarterback play, obviously. And they just drafted Michael Mayer. Different regime, though. But not great. Not great. And this isn't Dynasty, so I can see why he's going at pick 97. in this case, 109. I'm not really too sure how I feel about him because it's definitely an explosive player in a not ideal situation. But we've seen like how that can impact players. Like we've seen what it did to Drake London, what it did to Garrett Wilson. Like it really caps their ceiling when you score, 15 points a game as an offense. Not good. But where does Zamir White go now? In the 80s, right? 70 now, 79. That's another guy, that's like, and credit to everybody playing this game now. This is a guy that would go in like the 5th round 2 years ago, 4th round, all those touches, and he'd bust. But 80 is like okay. It's like, not like excited, but just because he's going to score like 5 touchdowns. But that is, it's okay. Do I pick dusty ass Zeke here? Is Zeke back? I was kidding. Jacoby, Gabe Davis. Man, this is ugly. Man, oh man, this is ugly. Wow. I think I'm just gonna pick Jerome here. I mean, seriously, who can I actually argue? Austin Eckler, old. And I think Austin Eckler's game is not suited well for Jaden Daniels. Jacoby Myers is fine. Schultz. Make an argument for Schultz. Gabe Davis. I mean, the Jags just drafted a better Gabe Davis. Blake Corum. Okay. Not really a fan of any of these guys. I think I'm gonna, I'm thinking I'm just gonna take 40 here. That'll probably be my last running back for at least until getting Vidal or Mitchell. Because I need to slam receiver again. I really like Josh Downs' talent. Obviously, a Donnie Mitchell there now. But I probably want a piece of the Colts, actually. I think they're going to score a ton of points. You can make an argument for the get. Although, I don't think Deontay Johnson is like an elite receiver or anything, but he gets open. Like, if you're Bryce Young and you see Deontay Johnson wide open, even if you're only like 7 yards down the field, like, how are you not just throwing the ball? There goes Schultz. Jerry Jeudy will not be on my team this year. This is crazy. Is this the worst Browns contract ever signed? Oh, man. That's crazy. A guy that hasn't done anything. I don't want to say he hasn't done anything. He hasn't done a lot. And he gets 60 mil. That's crazy. I mean, look at this. Yeah, I'm definitely picking Josh Downs. I want a piece of the Colts. I'll probably take Keaton Mitchell to finish my Lamar stack. Okay. Let's go over what we have. We have a Lamar Mandrew stack. We're going to get one of Keaton Mitchell or Rashad Bateman. We have a little stack with Devin Singletary and Malik Neighbors, and then we have another little stack with Keon Coleman and Curtis Samuel. And rounding out the receivers, we have Drake London and Rashee Rice. And rounding out the running backs, obviously we have Breece Hall locking it down. I think that's arguably RB1 this year. And then Chase Brown and Jerome Ford. I just want to touch on Breece Hall. I'm not too sure why the Jets drafted 2 running backs this draft. I liked Abanikanda. Obviously, I guess they didn't. I mean, he's a 6th round pick. I mean, I'm not going to get, maybe he's just not that good, obviously. But, and popping up, Ricky Pearsall, this guy would be good. Unfortunately, I like I mentioned earlier, I don't know if Ayuk's getting traded. I doubt it now. I think he would have already. And same with Debo. So, If this is Dynasty, I'm much higher in Pearsall and Dynasty. I think this is the guy that his value goes up like crazy next year when it opens up for him. But this is redraft, and this is 1 year, so not quite as high on Pearsall. Obviously, with Lamar, I'm not trying to get a quarterback here either. So many quarterbacks. Might just go for a May single stack. That's 6. Let's see. Yeah, right here. Bang, bang, bang. There you go. That's how we're drawing it up. Right there. Next 3 picks. Maybe not. We'll see. So 2, 6, 8, 2. And for those of you that don't know, Underdog is 20 rounds before the draft, 18 rounds now. So that's why I'm trying to just think, just because, like I said, I did do a couple of the ones pre-draft. And so I'm just, obviously those builds can be a little different. But now that the draft is over and free agency is over, you're back down to 18, which is fine. But just need to reiterate, my team's going to look like more or less to myself. But and then we are picking at 150 here. I'm probably going to take Polk. Probably going to go Polk, Vidal, May, and I might let Mitchell just go. Polk, Vidal, May. We'll figure it out. Quentin Johnston. What a fall from grace. Jalen Wright, not a bad pick here, maybe. Troy Franklin. I can't believe he fell so that much. I mean, obviously, people do not like him. I don't know what to make of Troy Franklin, actually, because expected like 2nd round draft capital, but now you get 4th round draft capital. How many 4th round receivers are going at 146? I mean, he's going in front of. The targets are more open there, but he's going in front of Roman Wilson, Jeremy Burton, even in front of Marvin Mims. Marvin Mims, talk about forgotten players, man. I'm pretty sure Sean Payton forgot about him multiple times last year. Like, we had little Jordan Humphrey out snapping him a lot. Like, stock on the rise after a Jewy trade. Not really, dog. He's being drafted lower than he was last year. Stock on the rise. I love Malachi Corley. This is like little Debo Samuel. In a non-disrespectful way, you know, a little Debo Samuel. I'm gonna take Mr. Polk here. Undo. I guess I could have just taken Pop late. Devon Baker late. Juju, Taekwondo. Man, this is crazy. Look at all these dust balls. Fuck. Man, I was a big Drake May man. I still am. I love Drake May. But, dude, look at this fucking receiving core. Look at them. They're all right here. None of them were drafted yet. I just drafted the first one right here. Jalen Polk. Look at this shit. I mean, these two are rookies. Okay, could be good. 2nd year Pop, you know, showed a little bit, I guess. Kendrick Bourne, you know, ACL tear, older now. KJ Osborne, classic 3 to 4 receiver. Juju, #1 dynasty player a few years ago. Big L now. Tyquan Thornton's pretty fast, you know. Roll this season DVD. Who wrote that up? It's a funny ass title. Yeah, this is just not good. Not good for Mr. May. Obviously, the O line sucks too. And now I know Jacoby Brisket, Brissett probably starting for a while here. I'm hoping they have an early bye. But we got Lamar locking it down, so I'm more than comfortable taking May, even though he's only going to play. Probably not going to play the whole season, but he'll definitely play at the end of the season, probably. I do like McCarthy too. Not as like a fantastic like prospect or whatever, but just like talk about falling into the right situation. Like I talked about how Caleb fell into a great situation. McCarthy, man, blessed. He stays blessed, bro. Stays blessed. Fell into a shit situation. Imagine being 24, right? And people are touting you as, you could probably play right now. You're pretty smart. And then you get hit with the fucking stone cold stunner and go behind Kirk Cousins, go behind the $100 million bag holder and Kirk Cousins at 24. Maybe they drafted him to mentor Kirk Cousins. Maybe that's what happened. Because I still don't get it. I mean, obviously, if it works out, it works out long term. But I feel like when you have an old quarterback coming off an Achilles tear they gave $100 million to, maybe, just maybe, you try to make the team better so you can, win a Super Bowl. Because isn't that the whole point of playing the game? Is to win a Super Bowl. Not to, like, theoretically be trying to win Super Bowls, but to actually win it. But that's just my 2 cents. And quite frankly, I don't really know shit. So it is what it is. Next pick, we're going to pick Drake May. Actually, we could push Drake May. If somebody picks Drake May, whatever. Whatever. Chuba Hubbard is probably cooked now. Facing tough snap competition, yeah. Some of these titles are funny. Oh, bad. Will Levis. Will Levis could kind of be exciting, right? I feel like people are stuck on, like, the Titans, They have, like, such a negative, there's such a negative connotation to the Titan, right? Like, oh, big run ball. Big man runs ball 30 times a game. But they got a new coach, new scheme. Brought in Calvin Ridley, obviously. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of indications that they're going to throw the ball a lot more, right? I mean, they let Derrick Henry go. They bring in Calvin Ridley. I mean, obviously their O-line is not very good, but I mean, I don't think their defense is very, like, their front's pretty good, I guess, but like the rest of the defense is kind of ass, right? Is that not like going to be a pass funnel? And if they are a pass funnel and they do want to throw the ball more, makes you think. Makes you think a little bit. So maybe I'll get some Levis next draft or whatever. Get some new number one receiver. That's what I'm talking about. See? That's what I'm talking about right there. RotoWire on it. Bam. Foot. Oh, he's injured. Yeah, who cares? It's fucking May. That's funny though. I love Jermaine Burton. Oh man. No man, not like this, dog. They gonna make me hate Jermaine Burton. No, we'll stick to the plan. Fuck. Man, I like Jermaine Burton. I think Jermaine Burton's gonna be a dog or a 0. And you know what? It's the 15th round, so I'll take a dog or 0 points. That's fine. Luke McCaffrey has to be good because of his last name. Cute. I'm gonna cue into Marcus here. That's a sneaky player right there. Another sneaky player. Brendan Rice might see 10 targets this year. bumps down depth chart. I mean, it sucks. It's funny that the Giants have like 10 slot receivers still. Like, I don't know what the plan is there. I feel like Slayton's always a last round pick and he's always solid. I don't know. Oh, look, it's AJ Brown. Drops a third on the depth chart. Honestly, I don't know if they will, because maybe Traylon Burks just sucks and they're kind of done with him. But if they threw Traylon Burks in the slot, like he played a lot more of in college, that can be really dangerous, right? You have older D-Hop, obviously. An aging, I mean, I guess the receivers are kind of old now. An aging Calvin Ridley, but he's still pretty good, right? Your two perimeter receivers. And then Traylon Burks in the slot. Like, there's some big fucking players right there on a team that might be a pass funnel and has a quarterback that can definitely, sling it. We don't know how great he is. Obviously, he wasn't in the best situation last year, but he did come out and drop some dimes the first game, so he showed us some flashes. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what to think of that. I don't think this team should have drafted Will Levis, but Okay. I don't know what to make of that. Anyway. Oh. Oh, man. We're not getting a second tight end. Do we just pick Gesicki and hopes he has like a 2-touchdown game in week 17? Chiggy's a freak athlete. Mod is showing week 18. Yeah. I know I said I wouldn't do it. No, I can't do that. No, I can't pick Likely. As much as it'd be funny, I can't do it. I'm probably going to pick Malik Washington over these tight ends and just pick some fucking... There it is. Jelani Woods. That's what we needed. There we go. Problem solved. Problem solved. We're good. No problems. We are good. We are good. Justin Fields gets drafted at 192, huh? Interesting. Bo Nix. Daniel Jones. Bryce Young at 196. Yeah, it's not been a good run out for the Panthers, huh? To be fair to the Panthers, if Bryce Young played like CJ Stroud did and they made that trade, nobody would be complaining, So I think what was the Bills GM's name? Brandon Beane. He said, I heard an interview with him a few weeks ago. They were like, yeah, when you traded all those assets to go up and get Josh Allen, what were you thinking? Like, doesn't that make you a little nervous? Like, what if it doesn't work out? He's like, well, if it doesn't work out, it won't be my problem because I'll be fired. And you know what? That makes a lot of sense. Go get your guy. And if it doesn't work out, somebody else has to clean up your mess. So, whatever, man, right? Let's keep it moving. That was funny. That really resonated with me, though. And I agree with them. Just go get it. Go get it done. Could pick Javon Baker here, but we have the Drake May skinny, Lamar, Tim Andrews and Keaton. I think I'm just gonna pick a fast ass player on Miami. Call me basic, but this running back room is definitely thin. I'm not gonna lie, it's a thin running back room, but if we've learned anything, it's that any one of these guys can be a dog. At running back, any one of them. Even Singletary, who we know isn't a dog, could be a dog. So I guess I'm not really too worried. I really think this guy could just be the Chargers starting back in like 4 weeks. Jerome Ford, I think is good. Chase Brown, I'm willing to bet on. Keaton Mitchell off the ACL is a little scary, but he's an electric player. Stacks well with our quarterback. Yeah, I really actually like this team. Not too bad. I think especially picking 3 non-wide receivers in the first 5 rounds definitely leaves you thin, and I think we recovered fairly well. I mean, I like a lot of these players. Obviously, Rice could be suspended, but I don't really give a fuck. Yeah, a lot of upside here. A lot of downside, but if this team doesn't come in first, it doesn't really matter. So let's just ignore the downside. And I'm definitely picking Jelani Woods here. I mean, I can't help myself, right? This guy's 6'7". Appears healthy after missed season. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, I'm gonna bet on the athletic freak in an open tight end market. Plus, it does kind of correlate with Josh Downs. So, there you go. There you have it. It's settled. We are all settled in. These drafts take forever the last round, huh? What pick were we this draft? 6? That's fine. You know what? Someone call that more than fine. I kind of want the 101. 1.3 for McCaffrey, huh? This guy picked Jamar Chase at 2. So I guess some people are picking CD over McCaffrey sometimes. It's definitely interesting. I don't really care too much about ADP. Obviously, I just have the default ranks in here, and I usually use like ETRs or something. So, but the first round though, and obviously I'm lying a little bit because I did it. I usually just go with the chalk. Obviously, this being my first one, I went with Breece Hall, but like if you just swap him and Bijan, it'd been the same thing. So. But especially at the 101, like just take how many 101s are you gonna get? 8, like 8%, right? Just fucking pick McCaffrey, and then when you get the 2, just pick CD. There you go. You get in both 8.3% chance over an infinite sample. So I would be very nervous fading McCaffrey or fading CD. You know what I'm saying? So just take him when you get him. All right, and that wraps up. I just smacked the shit out of my mic again. That wraps up the draft. This is my first time doing any kind of commentary in years, so apologies for the rough recording. Like I said, this will be unedited, and in the future it will be streamed. I just have to get my mic stand set up, so I stopped smacking this. And yeah, hopefully I improve. Hopefully you guys, maybe learned a little bit, maybe got to watch a little bit if you're unfamiliar with it. Obviously, this video will have 3 views, but that's fine. I'm doing it more for myself anyway. But just to recap the team, we have Lamar Jackson and Drake May quarterback. And then we have Breece Hall, Devin Singletary, Chase Brown, Jerome Ford, Kamani Vidal, and Keaton Mitchell at running back. And then Drake London, Malik Neighbors, Rashi Rice, Keon Coleman, Curtis Samuel, Josh Downs, Jalen Polk, and Malik Washington at wide receiver. And Mark Andrews and Jelani Woods. That's right. So we have a little Ravens stack, a little Patriots stack, and a Bills and Colts sub stack. Oh, and a Giants little mini stack too. Oh, look at that. We're correlating like crazy. But anyway, it's been real, guys. I don't know if I'm going to wait the last 45 seconds for these guys to pick. Yeah, no, we're out of here. See you next time.